and welcome to episode 8 of the Blue Co Project podcast. I'm your host, Matt, back for another wonderful pod, and for once, to talk about a Chelsea win. And I am joined by my wonderful two co-hosts, Jesters and Carlito. Guys, how you doing?
Really good. Despite Gallagher's best intentions, he did not ruin my day. He did not ruin our day, even though he is a horrible player. I every time we beat Brighton, it's a little bit extra because their fans are extremely annoying, and their manager is the worst, the absolute worst. He does so many condescending comments in the media. It is all about backhanded compliments, talking out of the side of his mouth, being a condescending prick. So to beat him in the rain with 10 guys, it just makes it that much more delicious. But thankfully, next game against United, we do not have to watch Gallagher fuck up our game again. Other than that, I'm good. We won 3-2. Get it.
Well, the way some fans talk, Zerbi could be our manager one day.
Yeah, right.
The way we used to sack managers, it probably would have been, but we'll see how it gets on. Jesters, how are you getting on?
You know, I'm living my best life, the only way I know how, man. And I was super pissed for most parts of this game because I get tired. But listen to unintelligent people talk all the time and say stuff. You're just going, on what world do you live? In what dimension are you seeing these things happen? Because I don't see a dimension where these things happen. Conor Gallagher is never going to be a good player for Chelsea Football Club. Okay, now there's one. The second one, Levi Caldwell, he ain't ready, folks. He is not that dude. He is not that lockdown defender. And if you're not a lockdown defender, I don't give a damn about your ball distribution. I want my defensive players to defend. That is what I want. And so there's number two. And then we're talking about, why didn't Ian Matson play at left back today? Dude is 5'3". And I heard that he once got an audition for The Wizard of Oz. I don't know what that's about.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't say it, Carlito.
Oh, God.
But you know what? I actually called him for him to come on in the second half to replace Raheem Sterling because he'll give you a little bit. He'll give you more defensive. And he'll actually try to play defense, which Raheem Sterling refuses to do.
Yeah. I thought he was fine.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. All right, Maddie, what's on the agenda? What's on the to-do list?
Yeah, well, obviously 3-2, back to winning ways. And of course, we always love to do it against Brighton. Obviously, Brighton bubble bottled the chance to come on today. He said he'll come on next time. We'll see if that happens. Trying to wait for Brighton to actually win a game against us to come on, but it is what it is. We'll see. We can see him crying on Twitter about I think nine wins in a season, but you know that we've got European trophies, so it don't matter. First of all, I'm going to talk about one player that has been slagged off on Twitter, told that he needs to rest, and that he's not been performing this season. He's not been doing very well, despite a very interesting stat that come out that said he's one of the best midfielders in terms of progressive passes. But there you go. Enzo Fernandez gets his 2 goals today, 1 penalty and 1 header. Carlito, did Enzo shut up the haters on Twitter?
He was sublime. He was sublime. It was, I mean,
red card.
Yeah. Despite the fact that, he had one less midfielder because one of his partners decided to be an asshole. He still had a really good game. And, there's a little bit of disingenuous criticism with Enzo Fernandez. It's in part because Chelsea fans want him to be Jude Bellingham. And he's not. He's not Jude Bellingham is a forward. If you watch Real Madrid, Jude Bellingham plays right next to the striker, or he is the striker. Okay? Jude Bellingham does not play center mid for Real Madrid. He plays forward. He
if you
scores
want
a
to
lot of
compare
goals.
a player in this squad, it's either Gallagher or
Yeah.
Kukin.
Yeah.
You can laugh at
You
Gallagher.
bring
Yes,
that
I
one
know.
up, people will clam up right quick. All right, but he's not Jude Bellingham, and everyone expects Enzo to be Jude Bellingham. They're completely different players. And it's like, oh, but we spent 105 million on him, so we expect him to be Jude Bellingham. It's like he's a different type of player. Jude Bellingham also does not have that passing range. Jude Bellingham is not an excellent passer in the way that Enzo Fernandez is. So they have different strengths. And so that's the problem, is that everybody expects Enzo to be this world-class athlete, which is what Bellingham is, and he's not. He's just this dumpy little South American guy who happens to have an unbelievable touch and is just a wonderful passer of the ball. And that's what we need him for. Okay? Caicedo's a more athletic guy. Romeo Lavia is a more athletic guy. Let those people do more of the dirty work. Enzo, you just need him with the ball at his feet. And he's an excellent player. And he was excellent today. And I don't want to hear any of this, oh, he needs rest. People that say he needs rest are just too afraid to say they don't want him playing. And that's crazy that they wouldn't want him playing when he's so good. And, today is just another example of, if he didn't play, we would have lost that game. If he was rested, Matt, we would have lost. All right? So, huge player, huge performance, a season turning around performance. I really believe that. I think that that those points are going to be extremely valuable down the line. And we didn't blink. We had some world-class performances by a few players, and he is certainly one of them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, fantastic all-round performance. Obviously, you got the goals, which obviously everyone cares about, because, these days, if you're not getting goals and assists, no one gives a shit about you, and you're shit, and you don't know nothing, even though you had plenty of players, Xavi, Iniesta, that never really got that many goals or assists in comparison to their games, but were some of the best midfielders in the world. But it is what it is. I think it is, as you said, correct. People are trying to compare him to people like Jude Bellingham when it's just not the player. It's not the player we bought. It's not. If you think that's the player we've bought, then I don't want to say you don't know ball, but you're not watching the right game if you think they're the same player. Very simplistic. Jesters, what did you think of Enzo's performance today?
I thought he was brilliant. I always think pretty much Enzo is Enzo. It comes down to the people he's playing with. Look, there was a midfield three, right? 4-2-3-1. Two of those midfielders had awful games. Let's be real. Caicedo should have been sent off with a second yellow too.
Oh yeah,
he had 2 chances at it. The referee was nice and not sent him off and didn't send him off, but he should have been gone. Let's be realistic. Those are yellow card challenges every day of the week. And if he wasn't on a yellow card, those would have been a yellow card. And so for me, he was outstanding. You played with 2 turds today, and you looked like gold. And if you can do that, then for me, that just means that you're special, because not a whole lot of players play with 2 turds and end up like gold. And he did.
Especially in the midfield, because the midfield is important. That you need your partners to be playing well. Otherwise, even the best of midfielders will crumble themselves in that situation, because you can't do it on your own. But clearly, Enzo can, even when he is down to, even when we are down to 10 men. Yeah, fantastic performance overall. We actually scored from corners today. Still conceded from corners, which is still the problem. But are we glad we can finally actually score corners for once?
Well, I mean, whether he touches the ball or not, Badiashiel's presence is one of the reasons why everyone else is getting open. I mean, because he's so big And he's such a lethal target that they oftentimes have to put 1.5 to 2 guys on him, right? Where one guy maybe splits him with another player and the other one is just marking him. But there's a lot of responsibility that goes into making sure that he doesn't get the ball. So because of that, other players are more open, whether that's Enzo, Colwell, Thiago Silva the other day. Badia Shields, he's the main reason why that's happening. And there's another player had a wonderful game today. Badia Shield, excellent. But no, becoming more of a threat on set pieces like we used to when we had guys like Rudiger, guys like Andreas Christensen. Being more ruthless is a great thing, and it's better late than never. But I think a lot of it has to do with Badia Shield.
Yeah, I mean, even Lorenzo's one. Shout out for not even just a header, just the way he placed that ball with his foot, and just the control and almost the audacity to do that.
Yeah.
Most attackers wouldn't try that in the box like that, let alone a centre back who's 6'3", 6'4", something like that. To even taller than that. Oh, Ian Matson,
you just saw it?
Oh, he just did the LeBron! Oh, my Lord! That a boy.
City game. I'm not watching the City game, so I don't know.
3-3 in the 90th minute. Wow. Okay. I wonder how many times Ange is going to say mate in his post-game presser. Oh, man. Alrighty. There you go. Ah, beautiful.
Brilliant.
What were we talking about, Jared?
Badia Shield.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be offside. No?
Is he not?
Wow.
No. It was. I don't know why they're showing that.
Bro, he fucking wrecked Ake. Look at it. Boom! Hit the gym, Ake. Oh, mama.
Yeah, another one of Colvin's finest.
Wow. Just got absolutely wrecked. Okay.
So, yeah, Badia Shield is our best center back, really. Besides, when I have these conversations, I think it's a given that Thiago is a different world than everybody else. So I don't include him in this, but Badia Shield, for our young center backs, he's our best center back. And it's not close even. People think it's close. It's not. He was our best defender on the pitch pretty much today. Thiago had brilliant moments. I can remember a sliding challenge in the dying embers where they were on us that was brilliant. But for me, Badia Shield going forward with this team is going to be the guy. And I'm sorry to say, but Disasi is going to be the right center back, which means Levi Caldwell, you're going to be riding pine, brother.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. He's going to be riding pine or he's going to be sold.
Oh, I don't think we're going to sell him. No way. There'd be a mutiny. One of the things, in talking about Disasi, I noticed that PYS did his ratings after the game and gave Disasi a 4. A 4! I thought Disasi was outstanding today.
Yeah. How many goals came from Disasi's side of the pitch?
None.
Yeah. What do you give Levi Caldwell?
Considering he's supposed to be against one of the best players on the pitch, Matoma, as a centre back playing him right back, I thought he was fantastic.
Oh my gosh! I mean, Reece James. Reece James, you better be looking over your shoulder, pal. Just saying.
I don't know about that. I mean, I think Disasi will be at right centre back, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, he always plays. But no. My point is that if Reece continues to have these inconsistent moments, whether it's suspension or injury, well, it's nice to know that we have backups and more backups in Gusto and in Disasi. Everybody on the defense outside of Colwell had a really good game today. Silva, Disasi, Badia Shield, all three of them were absolutely excellent. And then Colwell had his 2 Colwell moments where he doesn't want to defend, and they made him pay for it.
Yeah, of course, against his former loan club as well. I'm not going to put the conspiracy theories in there, but of course, didn't want to celebrate either.
Oh yeah. By the way, relax, guy. Okay, you were a lone player on Brighton. You did not play for that club. You can celebrate. Relax.
I mean, look at the way Robert Sanchez was there on a permanent. Look at the way he was goading the Brighton fan.
Oh, he does not like that manager. Oh, you could just tell Sanchez fucking hates the Zerbi. Oh, that's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh.
I mean, to be fair, that first Brighton goal was a great finish. Someone messaged me and decided to put to me and said, "When Sanchez should have done better with that," and I was just like, "If that's what you think, then just unfollow me. I do not want to hear nonsense like that." I mean, that was a fantastic finish. Couldn't have been put even more in the corner if you tried. I think, unfortunately, Sanchez is one of them players that I think people just want to put hate and blame on whenever they can.
What is the deal with that? I don't understand. I think he's a great player. I don't get why people don't like him. I mean, and they really don't like him.
I don't know. I don't think anyone really wants to settle on a goalkeeper for some reason, unless it's because Robert Sanchez isn't a high class name. It's not your Diogo Costa or Onana. What's my name? Or Onana, shit name.
Terrible.
It's
player.
not. It's not your. What's his name from AC Milan? I forget his name now.
Like Mannion, who's been crap this year.
He's not one of them players. So people are just like, oh, he's shit. But I think he's had games where he's made mistakes, and obviously the Arsenal one is just brain dead. But apart from that, I don't think he's been that bad.
No, he's been good.
I think he's been fine, especially for a £25 million goalkeeper.
Yeah, and I don't see us buying another goalkeeper. I think we have Petrovic and Gaga's on loan.
I would like to see Petrovic get a game at some point. To be honest, it'd be nice just to actually see what he's like.
He's good.
He's going to get the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we got Preston in the cup for the FA Cup, so I imagine that will be his first game.
Oh yeah.
Because if he can't play against Preston, then I don't know who he plays against. But it is what it is. But so, yeah, I think I should agree with you. Carl Will was just terrible in both goals. But I think the back four was fine. But while we've waited 22 minutes to talk about Gallagher, let's talk about him. I'm going to start with Carlito because I think Carlito has got a lot to say on this guy. Go ahead, Carlito. Gallagher, tell me.
He's trash. He's fucking trash. There's no other way to say it. He is a midfielder that cannot play midfield. He is a midfielder with no touch. He is a midfielder that can't pass. He is a midfielder that can't dribble. I don't understand how I can see this and Pochettino cannot. It's unbelievable to me that this guy gets a relentless amount of chances. And not only chances, they made him captain. What are you doing? He is horrible as a player. An absolute train wreck of a footballer. He has no control. The only thing he does is run into defenders and foul and lose the ball and take heavy touches and cause us red cards. Absolutely horrible player. And yet he plays more than anyone else. And I don't understand it. I flat out do not understand it. I don't think I ever will. But if you want Gallagher on this team, you are an enemy of Chelsea. You are an enemy of this club if you want to continue to promote Conor Gallagher as a starter on Chelsea. He is terrible. And today is just a perfect example of why I don't like the player. You know, people say, oh, I'm unbiased. Oh, no. I'm very biased about this. I will put it up front right now. I am partial and I am biased against this player. I think that he is trash. Full stop. Trash. And he should not be on this team any longer. He should not be on this team. And thank God that Pochettino will be forced to sideline him because of the red card against Man United. He will not be allowed to play him because, my God, would you think he would protest the FA just so he could play this player against United? It is confounding and bizarre and confusing to no end that he gets all these opportunities and that he plays this much when he is such a poor player. I mean, I love Pochettino. I love what he's doing. This is the one thing I do not agree with him on at all. Gallagher sucks. And thank God he is suspended for a game because I can't take it anymore. I cannot take it. And by this time, in 2 weeks, Nkunku will have been already back in the fray. Hopefully Carney will be back as well. Romeo Lavia taking up one of the central midfield spots. I think this is it for Gallagher. I think that this is it. I think that he has sung his last song, and I think he's going to be sold in January, and good riddance because you are a garbage footballer.
Jesters, anything to add to that?
I never want to see another carbon product in our lineup again. Done with it. Burn carbon to the ground. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm done. I did not have to listen to all these little pricks talking about, oh, it's carbon, he's proper chairs. Well, guess what? Costing your team, that's proper Chelsea. If that's proper Chelsea, I don't want to be proper Chelsea. Sorry. He might cost us 2 goals. Conor Gallagher almost cost us the game. 2 academy products. What are we doing here? Because Reece James has been so good, we now need all carbon products? Come on, folks. This is low IQ crap by usually kids under 25 years old whose brains haven't developed fully. So, but, you know, maybe they have, and that's just what they're going to be. I don't know.
According to Jared,
intelligent.
if you cannot rent a car, you cannot give a football opinion.
I think that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so. If you can't rent a car because they're worried about your decision making, maybe listen more than you speak. That's why God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Matt, in America, you have to be 25 to rent a car.
Thankfully, I can just about rent a car then.
Now, Matt, I'm going to say there are
if
exceptions
any
to the
older than
rule.
25, I was walking off this podcast right now.
See,
There are exceptions to the rule.
Jared can rent a car twice because of his age. Get it?
Almost.
Hey.
That's all right. That just means I'm double smart, right?
Yeah, doubly. He's bigly smart.
Well, it's more.
Bigly smart.
You're more going to the old and senile part.
Yeah. There.
Matt, I
close.
want to get your take on Mr. Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, well, I think this just sums him up. Ball in the china shop. Just wants to try and do everything. Wants to be part of the show. Wants to put in a tackle. I saw a stat that someone put up saying that I think Conor Gallagher's made the most fouls in the Premier League, and the guy still tried to spin that in a positive way, saying,
he said, get stuck in.
Getting stuck in. Gallagher's getting stuck in. I was like, no, that's not good that you're making fouls because it means you're just being an idiot and making fouls. And again, today, if that Brighton goal doesn't go in, if you look back at Conor Gallagher's tackle, arguably he could have been sent off there because that was a foul 2 minutes before he actually got sent off. And it was it was almost lucky in a sense because we still conceded, but in that moment he could have been sent off. But no, 2 minutes later, and it's just such a silly, stupid tackle.
Yeah.
Why does it looks like he's shocked that that's a foul? That is clear as day a foul and clear as day a second yellow card. It's just idiocy. Like, Reece James's foul last week pissed me off. And you'd think generally the whole squad would look and go, right, we've had one of these already. Let's not do this again next match. But no, what does Gallagher do? I want to be star of the show. I want to run round. I want to get the most miles in the team. And I'm going to go tackle Billy Gilmore. Wah! And then gets sent off and nearly concedes the game for us like an absolute twat. I agree.
Hold on a second. Did you just make Conor Gallagher a pirate?
I mean, probably better off being a pirate than a fucking footballer.
Swashbuckler. By the way, the person that wrote that tweet is Chelsea Dodgers.
Oh
no! Get Conor Gallagher getting stuck in because you commit the most fouls of anybody. Fouls are not good.
Definitely a 14-year-old. Definitely can't rent a car. Chelsea Dodgers.
Can't rent a car.
Probably couldn't even rent a bike.
One of those little scooters, one of those electric scooters that are all around town.
He couldn't even rent a push bike if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He'd probably have he'd probably have one of them little kiddie helmets that he has on, because he's got to be safe and all that. Little elbow pads, knee pads.
Oh, elbow pads!
The little free tricycle wheels on the back, training wheels.
Oh my god, elbow pads. This fucking jabroni.
But yeah, I mean, I mean, this is the perfect opportunity for Nkunku and Lavia to actually come in. I think Poch is going to have to do it whether he likes it or not. I hope, and this is we saying hope, I hope he doesn't throw Ugochukwu in against United, because that would be silly. In my personal opinion, I don't think Ugochukwu is ready for a game like United. But I have a fear that he might do that. That's just me being negative. But I hope that Nkunku, Lavia come in and Gallagher is nothing more than comes on in the last 10 minutes if he's lucky. I've said that I don't mind him being as a squad role, 5th, 6th choice midfielder, but he's nothing more. He should not be an integral part of this squad. And I said that when he was playing, well, when he was supposed to be playing well and when he's playing bad. I'm not going to change my opinion because that is my opinion. And I think, as I've always said, I would ultimately be proved right. And this game has absolutely proved it. That Gallagher is just not fit and ready to wear the shirt in a way of, one, just technically good enough, and two, ill-disciplined, which is not, to be fair, not the only problem in the squad. There's plenty of players that are ill-disciplined in the squad, and we need to sort it out, because otherwise we're not going to have players during the Christmas period, which is actually the one time we do play more than once a week. So I'd like to have players, thank you very much, but it is what it is. Next, who can we speak about? Mikhailo Mudryk. Some people saying that's not a penalty. I don't know where people are coming from with that.
Who's saying that? Brighton Bubble?
Well, Brighton Bubble.
No,
Brighton
actually,
Bubble
all of Paramount.
Decisions, but there are quite. There was a few Chelsea fans that were saying, "Oh, that's not a penalty, is it?" I was like, "What are you on?" Milner didn't get much of Mudryk, but he didn't get any of the ball and never intended to get.
Yeah,
the ball.
I mean, people were looking at the shove. It's not the shove. Milner tackled him. He clipped his feet. That is a penalty every day of the week.
Yeah,
what are we talking about here?
Yeah, again, people don't understand the rules of the game of football, because they also ask, why wasn't that a red card? Because he wasn't denying an obvious goal scoring chance. Look, that's not ever a red card when it's a penalty, unless you're doing just a horrible challenge, or you're taking somebody down in the box when there's nobody around. You're not going to get a red card for that. Again, learn the rules of the game before you speak and open your mouth and say stupid stuff.
Not to mention that I don't like to do this double jeopardy stuff anyway.
Yeah, unless it's just an awful challenge or there's other circumstances that are involved. You're usually not going to see a red card in that case, because
take Romero
he's being penalized.
as a perfect example. Romero's tackle against Enzo. That's just a horrible challenge that will be a red card no matter what part of the pitch you're on. But it's not a red card, but it is a penalty. But overall, a good match, a good game from Mudryk. Hopefully, get confidence up and a bit more consistency.
I want him to get the ball more. He needs to get the ball more. I mean, man, they in the 15, 20, 25 minutes that Mitoma played, he got the ball a shitload. They prioritized giving the ball right to Mitoma. I mean, that's their main set play. And I'm like, man, we need to start doing that more for Mudryk. We need to get him the ball more. Because it just feels like he gets lost in games when we're not prioritizing him. And I keep thinking to myself, this is crazy that you're not prioritizing him. I mean, he's going against James Milner, who's older than Jared. Like, come on, man. What are we even talking about here? Fastest player in the world. You got to prioritize getting him the ball.
People keep saying, I think, I've seen a few people say that, Mudryk's not getting past the ball as much. But I get that to an extent, that if like the left back Carl Will are not connecting and not combining with Mudryk very well, then that's fair. That's the point. But sometimes you've just got to grab the ball yourself and go for it. And I just find sometimes Mudryk, when he's on it and when he wants to be on it, he will do that. But there's just games where he just doesn't want to go get the ball. If the ball comes to him, he'll be happy to do something with it, but he just doesn't have that desire to grab the ball. And we don't have enough of these players to grab a game by the scruff of the neck.
I knew he was going to say it, Jared. I knew he was going to say
it. His favorite, yeah, it's his favorite one.
I love that phrase. I mean, we don't have players. When we get players that do that, I'll stop saying that phrase.
Oh my god! So it was like I was waiting for him to say it too. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna say scruff of the neck, isn't he? He's gonna say it, and he did.
You can say it. We're gonna have a drinking game one day. Every time he says it, we're gonna have to drink.
Unbelievable. You'll be loaded 25 minutes in.
I blame Mikhailo Mudryk not getting the ball on the fact that we're playing Conor Gallagher at the cam and have build up play, because Conor Gallagher is as worthless as pits on a boar hog when it comes to technical ability. He's just a try-hard. I don't need a try-hard at my number 10 in a 4-2-3-1. I'm sorry. So, yeah, Mudryk needs to be playing game in and game out. Bring on Sterling as a substitute, because Sterling doesn't like to play defense. And I'm sorry, everybody plays defense in professional football, not just certain players. Maybe a striker, you take them out. But at times, even they have to play defense. Sterling, if he's not in his position he wants to play, and he might not be able to score, he's disinterested. And I don't have time for people like that. So for me, our starting left wing should be Mikhailo Mudryk, because every time he touches the ball, there's a chance he can do something special. You can't see it about.
Jared, your connection is bad.
It's bad?
Yeah.
It's almost Gallagher bad.
It's Gallagher bad.
Okay. Well, I'll jump out and I'll jump in on my computer real quick.
That's nice. You do that. Yeah, I mean, Matt, I just keep waiting for him to have a multiple sequences where he's getting the ball like he did against Fulham, like he did against Liverpool in his first game. And we're just, it's foolish to me that we're not utilizing it, man. It's not even that hard of a play. Just send him a nice little ball between the center back and the outside back. Let him run onto it. And we seem to not be able to play that pass. And I don't really understand it, because it would be a devastating play every single time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get why we don't use him more. You see when Sterling's on the pitch that it's quite obvious that we do use him a lot more. And Sterling is a good player. I don't get the people that say he's not a good player. He is a good player. He has his faults, and as Jester said, doesn't do defense at all. It's like a phobia to him. Defensophobia. But Mudryk just needs to get the ball more. And I think he will show how much of a good player he is. He's got the talent,
Oh
just
my
needs to
God.
show it. And I think it's not, for me. It's not just a mixture of him, a mixture of other players not passing to. I think it's a mixture of both him and other players. So I think this needs to get sorted one way or another, and maybe consistent game time will help this.
Yeah.
Jesters back.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Back in
Sounds
the New
good.
York groove.
All right. So yeah, Mudryk is a special talent. You need to play the ball to him as much as possible because he'll make things happen. If it's not for himself, maybe he creates for another. But yeah, you have to have dynamic players, as many dynamic players as possible in your offensive. If you're going to play an offensive four going forward, you need to have dynamic players who can both create and get them themselves. And Mudryk's one of our few players who can create for others, and can create. I can't even speak today. Can create for himself. So for me, you play this kid game in, game out, you're going to see his confidence rise. When his confidence rise, you're going to see some amazing things from him, I believe.
Definitely. I think he's a talented player, and hopefully we'll be able to see that a little bit more. Guys, did it scare you a little bit when you saw Cole Palmer wasn't playing or wasn't starting?
Yeah, what's up with that?
I heard it was a knock in training yesterday.
I mean, but he still played.
So I imagine it's he's taken a knock. Poch has decided I'm not going to risk him, which I just think was a bit. It could have gone definitely. If we lost that match or drew that match, I think a lot of people will be slagging that decision off.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he looked fine when he come on. That was. I'd understand if he came on, didn't look fully at it 100%, then maybe I can go, all right, Poch, I can understand that he doesn't look fully at it, and if he's not fully at it, arguably I'd say don't put him on the bench. It's like Nkuku, Lavia, if they're not ready, then don't put them on the bench. And say,
Man, I kind of wish that he did today, though. I looked at that bench. That bench was brutal.
I wish that they're ready, but if they're not, if they are just not ready, then fine. Don't put. I get frustrated when I see it, unless it's a thing of you've got loads of injuries, and you haven't really got good players on the bench anyway. So he's just there to fill the numbers. Then fine, but we've got enough players on the bench. So it was a little bit confusing for me, but thankfully it didn't have a problem. It did make me laugh that we got the penalty, took it, and then Cole Palmer come on straight after. Since he's been taking all of our penalties recently, we put on a penalty taker straight after. Well, I saw him taking his shirt off and stuff, and I thought, is he going to come on for this penalty? And is Poch going to do a Southgate on us and put on a player cold and then miss a penalty? Again, thankfully, he didn't do that. Otherwise, Poch would be getting a little bit of a go from me today. But generally, apart from Palmer being on the bench, he made the right decisions. I am going to refuse to talk about the whole Jackson thing, by the way. But I thought he did all right today, considering all the unnecessary hate that he got the other day. What did you guys think of Jackson's performance?
He was all right. He's an interesting player. Sometimes he does things that other strikers can't, because he's actually a really good dribbler. But then there are other times where he'll wait to make a pass, or he'll make the wrong pass, and it makes him kind of a frustrating player. But I mean, there's certainly talent there. I don't know if he'll ever be a starter for Chelsea once we sort out our January stuff. I think that there's a very, very high probability that he is going to be replaced by Victor Osimhen, which is great. Osimhen is a sick player. He is sick. And people are going to love him. He's so fast. He's so lethal. But with Jackson, yeah, I mean, look, he got into a little baby mama drama over the weekend, and it's probably a distraction for him, but I don't think it affected him that much. I thought that he was fine. He was fine. He's a good player. It's just, you know, again, some of those final ball things, some of the finishing, it's still lacking. And I don't think that he's improved dramatically, but you know, there's probably some stuff where he knows he's probably going to be replaced in January, and that might be fucking with him a little bit. But I don't know. I thought he was fine.
I still don't think he'll be replaced in January. I think there's
There's
only one player we can replace him with, and I don't think it's coming in January.
Yeah, Oshman signed an extension at Napoli.
Has he done it now, or is it still just?
Yeah. Nope, signed it.
He signed it.
So what's been reported?
Okay.
Yeah, but
I am gonna look this up.
All I'm saying is I'm gonna wait till it's actually been physically signed, confirmed on the paper, because a lot of I mean, De Laurentiis can be saying this just to play smoke and mirrors with it.
Okay, Fabrizio Romano, as of today, De Laurentiis seems fairly confident Osman will sign a new deal. My information is that at the moment the contract extension is not guaranteed, so it remains all open. It will need to be a crazy bid in January.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get him in January because I think it's just not attainable. But I think in the summer, I think what Chelsea need to do is almost be not so much tapping the player up, but let him know that we are available. And obviously, this would be easier if you did not sign a contract, or if you did, put a suitable release clause. That is the only way he signs a contract for me, is if there is a suitable release clause that is not De Laurentiis crazy and is attainable for Chelsea.
I think we send Didier Drogba to Italy and have a conversation with him.
Send Didier Drogba, Joe Mikel. I don't care who needs to go.
Oh, Mikel too. Yeah, that's right.
Just get someone over there to have a chat with him. Just a little whisper in the ear. Just don't sign a contract. Come to Chelsea in the summer. That's all I'm asking. But with Jackson, I think, of course, he is a raw player. I think there is talent there. I do see him staying at Chelsea for a long period of time, and if he can improve on his deficiencies at the moment, which someone who hasn't played more than 100 games in a senior career, I expect these mistakes to be there. I expect these deficiencies to be there. I think a lot of people jumped the gun a little bit too early, thinking Jackson was going to be this 20-goal season striker. I never thought he would be that, but I think he can develop into that, and should he, it'll be a good fight between him and Osimhen, Osimhen and Nkunku, of who gets them front spots. Ultimately, Jackson is a player that can also play out wide, so it's not like if he's not starting up front, that doesn't mean he can't play elsewhere. That doesn't mean he can't play in a two. That doesn't mean he can't play out wide, supporting the striker. I think Jackson will be absolutely fine. And I think, on a side note, the absolute hate that he's been getting is just ridiculous. And Chelsea fans and Chelsea YouTubers particularly, are just showing their true colours.
Yeah, Jackson is about as raw as the chicken at Man United at Old Trafford. You know, they got a case open because they were serving raw chicken. You know, they got bricks falling off their stadium, crashing into the fans.
Was that an attempt at a joke?
Hey, allow it.
Allow
horrible. It. And
Gallagher.
Reporting on Oshman comes from Ekram Kanar. I don't know if you follow him, but apparently he knows a little bit of something about something. So we shall see on the Osimhen thing. I can see him doing it just to get a higher salary for the rest of the season. And then, of course, that complicates things because we're going to have to pay more money for him because he now has a contract extension and the contract is longer. So hopefully he says no, and hopefully this guy is lying. But or being misinformed, we should say. But really, we don't have an out-and-out striker on this team that you can count on game in, game out. Let's be real. And until we really do that, you're not going to see us going to the next level. And so whether it's Tony or Osimhen or whoever the hell they drum up in a lab somewhere, you got to get a guy in that's going to produce for you game in and game out. I'm sorry, it's one of the simplest things in football. Striker that can score goals on a regular basis. Imagine that. We haven't had that since Diego Costa. So whatever. It's the squad was never finished this summer. There was still going to be more investment. I don't understand why people keep talking about the money that has been spent. You act like all those players are playing at Chelsea Football Club right now. You act like we didn't have to rebuild a club from the ground up, which we did.
They act like we haven't spent. They act like we haven't sold a load of players. And also, I've done this before. I've added up how much everyone's squads actually cost. 25 men. They're all exactly the same, give or take a few millions. So we haven't spent more than what anyone else has. We've just decided to do it once.
Yeah, we just did it in a truncated period. That's what happens when you do it in a short time frame. People think, oh, you should be successful. Well, that again goes back to the FIFA and Football Manager argument. Well, I did it on Football Manager. I bought all these players and they were great. Yeah, because that's not real life. That's fake. And in real life, when you bring in an excessive amount of players, which we have, you have to build chemistry within the squad. And it takes time. And it takes what is most important is people have to be available to build that chemistry. And that yet hasn't happened. So I'm telling you, wait for the second half. If people stay fit, and that's a big if, you will see a totally different team in the second half of the season.
Yeah, and Kunku helps.
Yeah.
Lavia helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe having a fit Chilwell would help.
Yeah. And fit, not fat Reece James, that would help.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, we're playing. It's like driving a car with four bald tires and the engine is knocking. You ain't going very far. Go get a tune-up and put some tires on the vehicle, and then maybe you can get down the road. Is that better there, Carlito?
Sure.
Do you like that one better?
Sure.
Good.
I thought it was much better.
Jabroni. Go ahead.
No, you go.
No, you.
Well, I was going to say, obviously going down to 10 men, do you think it was good that we at least managed to hold out and, if anything, increase our leads while doing that? Because I think a lot of people expected us to completely crumble. People say that there is no mentality there. There is some mentality there. But did you think this was good tactics by Poch and the team to contain Brighton, even though they were throwing their best men on, and having one less man who, like it or not, does actually do a lot of running? So in that sense, it doesn't help that Gallagher is the one that went off either.
No, it showed a lot of resolve. I'm very pleased with the team. I'm very pleased with the mentality and the fact that they didn't give up, because if this had happened in the spring last year, they would have absolutely given up, because Frank Lampard's a terrible manager. But no. I'm very pleased with what I saw. I mean, they were still trying to get goals. Palmer, Mudryk, Jackson, Sterling, they were still trying to score. It wasn't just a purely defensive effort. We were still trying to be progressive out there, and I appreciate that. And I think that Poach got his tactics really well. Surprisingly, Madsen came on and did a good job, and Cole Palmer was excellent, and Broja, bloody nose and all, definitely got stuck in as well. So I'm very pleased, actually. I'm very pleased with the performance.
Yeah, Justice, do you agree?
This is the first time we've actually showed some fight, right? You know, recently we've had the trend is when something like this happens, we capitulate. And it's bend over and spread your cheeks time. We didn't do that today. Okay? You can say what you will. It wasn't ideal because we had so many players out, and so players were out of position. But to sit and hold a lead for the amount of time we had to do that, and when they came back and when they were pressing us, we found the third and key goal because they came back and scored. So 3-2, you take it because of the circumstances in the game. But we need our next step is really to put teams like this when they're not at full fitness, when they're at home at Stamford Bridge. We need to be putting teams to the sword. That's the next level. Once you see that happen, you'll see Chelsea get back to where they need to be. But yeah, you just have to take it because of the circumstances in the game.
Definitely. I think we just need to keep this fight going on and keep it rolling into the next games. Carlito, what did you want to add?
In the words of Feroz, 100%, bro. 100%. No, I mean, I'm just very glad that they didn't give up because I'm telling you, man, these 3 points, you remember these 3 points, they are going to be very important down the line. Very, very, very important. It's games like this that can save a season, and I think that we have. And thank God he cannot play against United.
Yes, indeed. I have just seen something ridiculous. Of course, the Gallagher nut huggers are coming out in his defence. Someone, do you guys know Vince Bluefooty?
Oh, yeah.
Come out on Twitter and said, was the Gallagher second yellow harsh?
What? He took the guy down from behind.
I don't. Can either of you give even a slight justification of why you'd even need to put that tweet out? Because all I'm seeing in the comments is nope, completely deserved. Gallagher shit. These people and their fucking agendas.
Their to-do lists.
Yeah, their to-do lists.
Oh, that's a good one. We have a new name for Deserby by Carefree Lewis G. De herpes.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Oh well.
Right.
What can I say? Look, the performance was a performance that you can look back and build on. You can, if we do kick on from this, you can look back at this game as a springboard of going forward. But you have to go out. You can't go out against Man United, who's been awful as of late. Even though it is at Old Trafford and we haven't won there in a decade.
It has been a while since we've beaten United, man. Oh,
so
my.
You need to follow this one up with a win. If you lose and get embarrassed, this game means absolutely nothing. It means you're just like any other mid-table team. Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. We can't be that guy.
Dude, I want so badly for Mason Mount to play.
I don't think he's fit.
I just can't wait to beat United because if we lose against this United team, then we've got problems. This United team is shite.
Oh yeah, they're really bad.
I mean,
they're not playing for their coach either. They want him sacked. You can tell by the way they're playing. Certain players are playing that they want the manager sacked, and so they're playing to get the manager sacked. To me that's fine. If you don't like the manager, great. But you're still getting paid week in, week out. You're still a professional football player. Have some pride.
I'd argue there is nothing wrong with Ten Hag at all. And these players, I think, are just doing what they've done to every single manager. So I think sometimes it's best to maybe not do what Chelsea did, but because they can't do it. But maybe it's time to get rid of some of these players and actually bring in a new set of players. I know it's not possible because it's easy to sack a manager, but it is what it is.
No, I don't. Dude, I want him to be here for a while. I like Pochettino. I think he is a good coach.
Oh, we know Pochettino's going to be here for a while. We're talking about Ten Hag.
No, I know, but like, yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I mean, I don't know who would take the United job, but
Well, there was a rumor that they were looking at Gareth Southgate.
Which I heard Potter.
Well, the idea is Potter, Southgate, and Darren Ferguson.
Yeah, because he wants to bring in Brexit Ball. What's his name? The Ineos guy. He wants homegrown players.
By the way, speaking of strikers, that Brighton striker is pretty good, man. Ferguson? Yeah.
Yes, but I don't want another Brighton player ever again.
No, because they'll ask for like $100 million for him.
They've already said it. He signed a new contract, and they said he's not going for anything under 100, 120.
He is good though. I watched him pretty closely.
How old is he? He's like 18, 19?
19.
Like, I'm not paying 120 for a 19-year-old striker. Unless he's Mbappe. Haaland.
And yet you know that they'll get it. Some sucker will definitely pay it.
Someone will what I can definitely see someone like Man United.
Oh yeah. Going
in the summer because they need they've got Højlund, who isn't terrible.
He's good.
I think he's done better than I thought he would so far.
Matty.
And I think he's suffering with the players he's got around him, but I could see United going in for Evan Ferguson in the summer.
Hey, we have a bunch of Brexit ballers on our team that I'd like to sell them. We got a midfielder that they're struggling in their midfield, Conor Gallagher, pairing with Mason Mount. I'm telling you what, could be something there. But they want Brexit ball. Hey, we'll sell them all our common players that we have.
They can have Chalobah at the back.
Chalobah, yeah. Chalobah at the back.
I'll tell you what, if they said that, they were like, Varane's kicked off. They don't want Varane. I'd happily have Varane and give them Chalobah personally.
Well, Varane will probably be gone in January, and probably Casemiro too.
Oh, well, we want Chalobah gone in January.
He's not fit to be sold in January either. I think his dingus is messed up this time.
Oh yeah.
I'm just looking at Robert Sanchez talking shit after the game. I love it.
That guy was okay. I got you. He was waiting for that too.
Oh, and yeah.
That second half, give him credit. He was playing in front of Brighton fans the whole second half.
Awesome. Just
that save he made towards the end, fantastic.
Fuck, dude. He is a good goalie. You got Johnny Minerals saying he's smoking the Seagulls pack. There you go, Johnny Minerals.
Why don't you smoke that Gallagher pack?
Yeah, seriously.
I don't follow Johnny anymore, so I don't know what he does anymore.
Same. This has not changed. Just names.
He still yells at himself for 3 hours on YouTube.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
To his 5 viewers.
He says the word "yeah" after every sentence. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have it right.
Let's have it right. Anybody else got any extra final thoughts? Because I mean, personally, I always love beating that manager, and I that team, they scout really well, they recruit really well, and then they sell really well. I can't knock it, even though I hate Tony Bloom and I hate De Zerbi and I hate how much they charge for players. But when beating them, a team that all the announcers always love, you could tell the American publication announcers on USA Today, they were all about Brighton, all about them. And so, at Chelsea, it's always, in particular, that one color commenter, Jared, he is always anti-Chelsea. And it's just the way it is. These commenters, they hold it personally against us that we spend so much money. And so they don't find anything good in the way that we play. It's always just criticism. Always just criticism. Oh, Chelsea should be winning these games. They spent $1 billion. It's like, oh, no, we didn't. I mean, net spend, we did not. Net spend, I think, a few teams have spent more.
Yeah.
But, I just, look, at the end of the day, beating Brighton is always more delicious than most. And, yeah, I mean, Caicedo, just glad he didn't get sent off, too, because he was on one as well, man. But, no, it was a fun game, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, for me, we moved to Wednesday. I need 3 points on Wednesday.
Who we playing?
We play Manchester United at OT.
Oh, midweek game, really?
Wednesday. That's what we were talking about. United.
It's the festive fit period, Carlito. It's 2 games a week again.
Wow.
I think,
Matt, but they're human beings. They're not robots, Matt. Oh, God, these fans, man. These fans. They're human beings. They shouldn't have to do their job.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we've got United on Wednesday. And the weekend we've got Everton. Then we have the week off. We've got Sheffield United. Then we've got midweek. We've got Newcastle in the cup. Then we have the horrible Christmas Eve fixture against Wolves. Then we've got Palace and we've got Luton. So we should be getting, I'd argue, maximum points out of that, personally. Obviously, and the cup win, because you can't get points in the cup. But maybe Everton. I feel like Everton's a team we always struggle against, so that one might be a sticky one. But we need to get some of these points back, because even with today's win, we don't increase a place. Even with Villa drawing, obviously beating Brighton, West Ham dropping points, we're still 10th. But we need to get some of them points back, because we are, I think, even United are still 5 points off us, which is, I don't get how we're 5 points behind this shit Man United.
Because we lost to Brentford. Because we lost to Forest. These bullshit teams.
It's not even the losses, because United have lost one more game from us. It's just the fact that we've drawn 4 and lost 5.
It's not great.
Whereas United have got these shitty little jammy wins. I hate United so much.
Yeah, I noticed.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't got anything else to say. If you guys are finished with your takes.
Yep.
Perfect.
All I wanted to do was talk shit on Conor Gallagher, and I think that I accomplished that.
Yeah, I think we've done that enough. And to Brighton Bubble, who is maybe listening, maybe not. Suck my big dick.
Oh, Jesus!
You bottled the pod. You've not come on with a loss. You made plans because you knew that Brighton were going to lose this weekend, and you're going to come on next time. Well, we'll be waiting, and Carlito will be here to just rip you next year instead of this year.
Who said Matt had a fat one? Biggest in 3 counties. Oh my God.
But anyway,
Matt,
Brighton Bubble, nice to listen to you. No European titles for you. 6 for us. So enjoy getting knocked out in Europe next year. And we'll see you next year. Big up to everyone that has listened to the pod. Of course, check us out on Spotify, Apple. Give us a like, give us a download. Give us a comment if you want. We don't mind. Jesters, Carlito, thank you for coming on.
Anytime, brother.
Perfect. And we'll see you again on another episode of the Blue Co Project podcast.